If you're having people over for the holidays and have pets, it's important to know how to keep them safe. For pets, the holidays are full of new people, tempting treats and decorations as they might confuse for toys. Veterinarian at Crago Veterinary Clinic, Tom Reaping, joins me with tips on how to keep your furry friends safe this Christmas. Tom, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
My first one for you. During the holidays, people typically have some visitors over. What should people do if they know their pet gets anxious or hyperactive around guests?
Yeah, that's a great question. Really know your animal. If you do have a well-socialized animal who's been around a lot of people and they have a lot of self-confidence and self-esteem, they should be fine. But if your animal is one that does not socialize well, plan ahead. I know it's a little late in the game now, but plan ahead for that. Have a place for them to retreat to or keep them separated altogether. Also, if you haven't already, you can sometimes, and this is about holidays going forward too, you could talk to your veterinarian. He or she may prescribe something like a medication that can help calm them and get them to treat those groups a little bit easier.
And Tom, we talked about new people, your pets meeting new people. Is there a way that you'd recommend introducing those pets to new people?
Tough during the holidays because there's so many, right? You have a big group coming in at one time. Again, I don't think these types of holidays are the time to kind of test that ground. I think you want to do that later on or throughout the year. But for days like this, if they're not socialized and you know your pet isn't, confident in those situations, then I would just let them sit this one out.
And then there's those opportunists too, right? With guests coming in and out of the house. If people have pets that tend to try and run out any open door, what should they do in that case?
Yeah, awesome. The biggest thing is proper identification. Make sure your animal, even if they're inside, has a collar on at all times with their identification on that collar. Also, microchipping. If your animal has been microchipped, that's a great way to keep them safe for that. So proper identification is key during the holiday season.
And holiday gatherings typically have a large spread of food, some which may be toxic to dogs. Can you share what foods or ingredients hiding in a dish are not safe for those pets to have?
Sure. A lot of things that we see are not really toxic as much as they are fatty. So you got a lot of fatty foods, rib roast and spices and things like that can really cause acute pancreatitis or GI upset, gastrointestinal disease. And then, as you mentioned, there are those toxic foods, things like grapes, dark chocolate, onions. These things can actually cause, metabolic disease, organ disease, things like that, more than just the occasional upset stomach.
And what's the best tip for telling grandma? We know we have relatives that are guilty of it. Grandma, grandpa, maybe an uncle, not to slip some food to the dog underneath the table.
Yeah, you can tell them, but most of the time we lose that. Just try to steer clear of those fatty foods. If you have some skinless, boneless, chicken or turkey, that's fine. As long as those treats don't make up more than 5% of their caloric intake, you should be fine, but avoid those toxic foods. There are many online lists out there that, state a lot of them. But yeah, just do your best.
Real quick before we go, what's your number one tip for keeping pets safe this Christmas?
Again, know your animal. I know it's warm out right now, but if it gets cold, they have trouble being outside in those real cold weather. I will say this, a little known fact, those snow globes are made with ethylene glycol. So if they break, that can cause acute kidney failure. So you want to keep your pets away from those.
Tom, good advice there, and thank you for spending some time with us on Christmas Eve.
Oh, you too.